Hello, everyone. This is Marilyn from LemLedger. And today in this video, we are going to talk about common ActivTrak mistakes that make clients distrust your reports. Now, many agencies use ActivTrak to track work, but the problem is, even with all that tracking, clients still doubt the reports. For example, if a client saw a report like this, they would still doubt it, not because they cannot see that work is actually happening, but because the reports don't clearly show it. Just by looking at this single day report, it's not clearly seen that work is actually being tracked. Now, in this video, I'll go through three common mistakes that make clients skeptical and how to fix them. Now, why do clients actually become skeptical? Clients don't want to see just time tracked. Exhibit A. They don't want to see just time track. They want to understand it. They want to see what work was completed, what progress was made, what deliverables were created, what happens next. But many active track reports show things like this. Hours worked, productivity metrics, top users and top groups, top apps used. Suzanne today did this. This was her screen time and this was her productivity percentage. Her top apps were Slack and Figma. Her top sites were LinkedIn, you know. Now, to the client, that can feel like, okay, you worked, but what exactly did you get done? Just by seeing this, they can see that, okay, Suzanne worked, but what did Suzanne get done? She used Zoom, she used Slack, she used Figma, she used Salesforce, email, and LinkedIn, but what work did she get done? When reports lack context or outcomes, trust starts to drop. They're able to see this kind of report on their admin panel. They're able to see this kind of workload summary report, but they're like, okay, but what exactly happened? Where's the context? Where's the outcomes? Trust then starts to drop from this kind of reports. Now, mistake number one is not tagging by deliverable. One of the biggest mistakes agencies make is not tagging the work by deliverable. Now, for example, a report like, let's look at here. Let's look at this kind of report. Now, a report like this might show the list of tools but not the list of results. We can see that, okay, Tamika used Google Docs, Victorina used Zoom, Maximo used datamining.com, August used Slack, William was not active. But then there's no tagged deliverable here. They're not able to see the list of results. They're not able to see what actually happened. And even more so, if the report is a live report, a productivity report that you can see down here in ActivTrak, here in these executive reports, when you download them, and the report looks something like this, you're not able to see what exactly happened, right? The client, because the client cares about something different. The client wants to see, okay, but did my SEO audit get done? Was it completed? Where are the black links that were researched? What was the landing page actually designed? What actually happened? So without tag deliverables, the report just looks like list of tools, or more so it can look something like this. Can just be showing productivity hours. Now, the quick fix for this is to create internal tags and actually tag activities when switching tasks. And you can do that in ActivTrak, where you're able to actually show here under activity dashboard and put in each each single work or each single deliverable, right? And so this makes weekly reports much clearer, and the client is now able to see, okay, this person did this at this particular point, and your report will not look something like this. Do not just show unclearly of what was actually done. So this is now a more classified kind of report, where we can see where we can see the status of the work, where we can see the category, where we're able to see the users and what exactly was done. Was it productive, unproductive, was it undefined? And you're able to see the user health here now under admin panel. Now, mistake number 2 is tracking without notes or context. Activity track captures the activities that were done. Like here we can see Suzanne R and her apps that were used and her activities. We're able to see by this kind of dashboard as well that, okay, Michael was using Slack, he would Javier was using your app, he was on the main page, and this is exactly what he's doing. This was his activities, and here under activity dashboard the client will be able to see that, and the report will show, okay, 45 minutes using this app, 30 minutes using Chrome. The report would be able to show something like this or something like this. But to the client, it kind of raises questions. What work was actually done in that spreadsheet? Or what research actually happened on Chrome? Or what were they actually doing on LinkedIn? Did they actually use Sales Navigator? Did they actually find the clients or the kind of people that we're looking for in Sales Navigator? Were the emails actually sent when Tamira was using, when Suzanne R was using them? Was she sending those emails? And so the quick fix for this is to pair time tracking with task summaries. At the end of the day, you could just add short notes like completed keyword list for homepage SEO, or identify 20 black link opportunities, or updated landing page wireframe. Or for Suzanne R, since she was using email, she could say, and I emailed da 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 da, right? And so these short explanations help convert activity into progress. That even though the client would be looking at a report like this, with the short notes that you've actually typed out and given to them, they're able to put one and two together to properly understand the kind of work that was actually done, and and to see that, okay, my team is being efficient, and they're being efficient, and the outcomes are actually there. There is an actual proof of their efficiency because they have typed out this little summary, and I'm able to see that, okay, they are actually being efficient, and this report now makes more sense because the output is now matching. Now, mistake number 3 is sending reports too late or too raw. Another big mistake is that sometimes you send a report that is too raw directly to clients. Like now, raw reports often include productivity scores, right? A raw report would be something like this. It would just be showing productivity scores, internal activity categories, application usage, time in, time out, and the client is not getting it. It would probably look something like this, and the client is just not quite getting what is happening here. They are looking at it, but they're not quite getting, okay. So now what? You understand? So they're not quite understanding it would be such a raw report. And so clients don't usually understand this kind of matrix. This percentage of productivity, the minutes per break taken, they're not quite understanding this kind of matrix sometimes, because that's not what they're looking for. Now, when reports look messy or overly technical, they create confusion instead of clarity. Like, for example, what is a client supposed to do with the percentage of break time that was taken? It will just create confusion, not clarity. Maybe the client's deliverable was SEO audits, and now they are only seeing percentages, numbers, and so it doesn't add up. And this could break the trust. Now, before sending reports, make sure that you export the activity data from your activity dashboard, export that activity data, and make sure that you summarize the key work completed and uh, highlight the deliverables progress. Make sure it is you, instead of giving a high data dump like this, send a clear progress update. And so now, all these three mistakes come down to one issue. ActivTrak is mainly designed for active monitoring, not client storytelling. All we are seeing in each of these reports is data, all data. We are only looking at data here. We are not seeing a client storytelling happening here. We're seeing Suzanne's position, her screen time, and productivity percentage. We're not seeing a clear story. So agencies often need to manually translate, okay, Suzanne did this. This was her activity. These were the tasks. These are the deliverables, and this is the progress. And that extra step is where reporting can break down, because Suzanne could be reporting to the client, and there could be now a reporting breakdown. Now, LemLedger prevents these problems. Tools like LemLedger prevents this problem by using a whole different approach. Instead of starting with activity tracking, the system starts with tasks and deliverables. So here now we can see we have our client here, Sunny Marketing. We have our client here. We have the deliverables that we're supposed to 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 achieve for Sunny Marketing. We have the health score breakdown. And when we go to our delivery ledger here, we are able to see the tasks and deliverables. You're able to add the deliverable over here and look at what exactly. Um, so, for example, let me just add a deliverable here so that we're looking at exactly what is happening. So, we're saying our client is Sunny Marketing, and what needs to be done, we are designing a template. So we add the deliverable here for Sunny Marketing. Now, each of these tasks that as they are being added are all going to, each of these tasks as they are being added, the LemLedger automatically records the work that is performed on those tasks, the progress updates, the deliverables produced, the blockers encountered, and the completion status. So, for example, under tasks here, you're able to see my blocked work here. You're able to see, okay, what work was actually blocked here, what blocked my work here. So the final report, when it's now imported or exported, you're able to see the final report will show task, evidence, and outcome clearly, and this makes it easier to explain what work actually happened during work hours. So the focus is not just on productivity hours, or the report will not look something like this showing percentages and numbers. It's actually showing the work that was actually done. It's showing a client story, right? So ActivTrack can still work well for agencies, but only if you avoid the mistakes that I have just talked about. Because the goal of reporting isn't just tracking work, it's making clients confident that work actually happened. And now you can do that. You can do that on LemLedger. But however, if your team is focused on tracking productivity hours, then ActivTrack is for them. And if you'd like to know more about this kind of tools, please click in the link in the description box below. Thank you very much.